on the scene and showing that they mean business.
Yep, that's for sure. And they are obviously going to be a very much so a force to be reckoned with over this Olympic cycle, judging by that form today. Of course, we've got a few boats to come back, a few athletes to come back, but that's a good way to start an Olympic cycle to take that gold. All right, now let's look at the men's K2 500. Again, another Olympic event, and this has class all the way through it, including the reigning Olympic champions. They are there. There's a few others as well who are stepping out. A few new combinations as well, which always adds a bit of interest to the racing. But there we have in lane 1, representing Spain, we have Adam at the front of the boat there. Then in lane number 2, we've got the crew from the AIN, Kravets and Natanchuk going in lane number 2. In lane number 3, the host nation, Italy, with Samuel Burgo, the 200-metre specialist, and Tommaso Freschi sitting there in the back of the boat. What a combination that is, representing Italy. Then in lane number 4, and for Samuel Burgo will be annoyed I said he's a 200-metre specialist. Of course, he's very, very adept at all distances, Samuel Burgo. In lane number 4, they are the reigning Olympic champions, came together very late in the Olympic cycle, came out and won the gold medal, and they will be out today to now add a world title to their repertoire. I'm talking, of course, of Jakob Schoff and Max Lemke. We haven't seen them on screen yet. I think we're just trying to find them out there. I assume they're there. It'll be a real bummer if they're actually not out there racing. I think I can see them coming into picture now. Yep, there they are. That is Schoff and Lemke, and what a combination they were, just holding on to take the gold in Paris last year. Max Lemke, I think he might have been stung by my claim yesterday that his beard wasn't as good as Pierre van der Westhausen, so he looks like he's put a bit of product in there just to spruik it up a little bit. And there is the current. If he's not the best beard on show, he's very, very close to it. Tom Green must be full of confidence after his 1,000-metre race yesterday, where he just finished in second. And behind him, Pierre van der Westhausen. The impressive Portuguese, part of the K4 combination that surprised everybody with gold yesterday in the K4 500. What a combination they are. Portugal and Germany, I'm predicting they're going to be the two big guns in this race. Next to them, it's the AIN. Then in lane number 8, representing Lithuania, it's Maldonis and Olenik. And then on the outside of the course, in lane number 9, representing Hungary, we've got Korex and Bence Nadas. Nadas, of course, the veteran, been in this race so many times with so many different partners, definitely knows how to get the job done. But keep your eye on the Germans, keep your eye on the Portuguese, and the Australians in between them. Well, they'll be doing their darndest to try and upset the apple cart, but I reckon the win will come from either lane 4 or lane 6 as we wait for the boats to get into the starting buckets, and we'll be underway very, very soon.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be a very tight race as we see the white flag raise, which means we are ready for a start. Often these races, there's 9 boats and there might only be a second separating first to last. So on any given day, it could be anyone's race as you just see the Italians pulling forward. I'm not sure what they're doing, maybe clearing maybe a leaf or some weed or something, but they're just reversing in. They're making everyone else a little bit nervous.
Get inside their heads. That's exactly what they're doing. Getting inside everyone else's heads, I reckon.
And we're set for a start. Now, the guys would be feeling it, but as they take their first stroke, I'm sure they'll be laser focused on the job at hand and what they're there to do, and they're off and racing now. Looks like the Portuguese have had the better of the start, as has the Hungarians over here in lane 9 on screen. Now they'd be sitting at 150, 160 strokes per minute. There's the Italians on screen with the Germans next to them, but it's the Portuguese riding off a high after their K4 500 win. They're a nose in front of maybe the Hungarians and the AIN at the moment. The Germans just at the top of the screen. There they are in the nice pink boat. Don't discount them. They're your Olympic champions and they'll be starting to move through the field, but it is the Portuguese pairing at the moment still a nose in front of maybe the Hungarians. The Aussies starting to move through the field as we hit the 250-meter mark. So it's Portugal in first, Germany, Hungary, and the AIN.
Ribeiro and Baptista are the reigning world champions from Portugal, so they know exactly what needs to be done. Look at the Hungarians, though, down here closest to the camera. They're the ones who are starting to make a move. It's Portugal in front. Now the Germans are digging deep. The Olympic champions versus the world champions. It's the Olympic champions and the world champions, and the AIN up in lane 2 also in the mix. So it is the Olympic champions now, maybe with their nose in front of Portugal. So it's Germany, Portugal, the AIN and Hungary at the bottom of the screen also are in the mix, but it is Portugal fighting back now. The world champions get their nose back in front, but look at Hungary flying home down at the bottom of the screen. Maybe Hungary gets there. Hungary got there. Wow. From lane number 9, they flew home and have snatched the win in lane 9. We didn't even have them on the camera, but luckily I saw early on that they were making a big move, and Bence Nadas, don't underestimate this man's ability. It doesn't seem to matter who he has in the boat with him, he just manages to lift them all the way, and what a performance. They got a great start out of lane 9. The Portuguese world champions were out there. Maybe they would have been, I'm sure, before the race started, aware that the Hungarians were a major threat, and they have absolutely flown home in the extreme outside lane, the people's lane, to just pip the world champions. Germany, I think, got the bronze, but a great win there for Hungary. What a performance, Elise.
Yeah, wow, that was time to perfection, that race. The Hungarians, they had a beautiful start and maybe just settled into their work a little bit, and the turn of speed that they had on the end, maybe in that last 100 meters, it made all the difference, and you can see what it means to them. I mean, they're very well-credentialed paddlers, and it doesn't matter how many titles you win in whatever boat, it means just as much, that's for sure. So they are your K2 men 500-meter world champions for this year, and a very exciting time for sure. And oh my goodness, I love K2 racing. It's always down to the wire, the 500. There we go, confirmation of the results. So Hungary in first, 1:28.28. A 0.16 behind was